March 18th, a new geography for the cruise industry was the topic of discussion. Dietmar Wertanzl, President and CEO of Cruise West, spoke about expedition cruising. And while Dietmar speaks about his company and its environmental concerns, we're going to cruise around the exhibition area. This is Ken English for X-Ray Magazine. Cruise Shipping Miami, 2009.
So then I looked at the guiding principles after I heard all his presentation, and I looked at it and I saw here, remote, unspoiled, uncrowded zodiac experience. I said, wow, we are really a contrarian here. We're doing everything different. In our case, we're looking for remote destinations because that's something which our guests want, and that is also the search for the last sanctuaries on our planet Earth. And that's very exciting. At the same token, unspoiled. And then I looked at uncrowded. In our case, our line is really not about the infrastructure there. Sometimes we don't even need a real port of call or infrastructure. So that's also different. And of course, the zodiac experience is something which is one of the smaller things, but very vital to our overall experience. Exploration. What does exploration mean? Really, our spirit is, to explore different things. In particular, Alaska is our basically home region. And, Alaska has a lot to offer. We have about 8 ships operating there during the summertime. And for us, talking about the weather before, we are really looking to be at the best time everywhere we can go. Basically, we're following the summer times around the world. And exploration is too, for us, the sense of exploration is really we take you as a soft adventure company out of the comfort zone, not in the danger zone, but out of the comfort zone to do something different, to really become an explorer. You can see here, this is what we're talking about, the zodiac experience, and our guests, they do have a pioneer spirit, and that's very exciting. And, looking about the itinerary planning and deployment in the future, there are a lot of places still which are unspoiled and can be explored. Enrichment. Well, we do not have, casinos, and we don't have spas on board our ships, but we do have enrichment. And enrichment is really basically one of our core pillars on board the ship when we do our programming. And the learning experience, in a different way, not just only about financial lectures, but learning about the destination, what it has to offer, and really the cultural immersion of that is one of our key focuses and what we deliver. Intimate. Well, we'd say, up close, casual, and personal, but intimacy for us is definitely goes beyond, meeting your fellow guests on board and becoming intimate with our crew members on board. You're also becoming intimate with your destination. And cultural immersion, when you say cultural immersion, it can be beyond for us for everything. In terms of food and beverage, it doesn't matter, really architecture. Anything which gives you a different perspective to get a deeper and more enriching learning experience about the destinations. And here, this is really for us a sanctuary, again, the Bay up close and casual. So for us, it's those destinations. There are not many anymore left, when you look about it. But we are in search of it, and our guests, their best friend is the binocular and the camera on board the ship. It's very interesting. Once they come on board, they see the small ship first. They say, "Wow, my God, I didn't think it's that small." But after 3 days, they will love it, and they get totally immersed in the experience and with the wildlife. Up close, get closer. And what we really do, we're trying to define what are we doing sometimes, and it's hard to say even in the expedition segment of the cruise industry. But one word I read once out of a comment card from our guest was, well, it was like an ocean safari. And that's really, I think, a very nice explanation. We are in the ocean safari business. Authenticity. Every port we go in, we're looking about authenticity. You have lots of ports, infrastructure, commercialization, highway. We have to stay off the beaten path. We are looking for all those places, again, unspoiled. We try to stay away from the highway, how we approach it. We think about, how we get into the port, how long we should stay, etc. But it's all about authenticity. Those places we go, they got to have a sense of place and stand out by themselves. Some of the considerations when planning a small ship itinerary, I think the number of days at sea, we heard it before. I mean, that mix is important too. Variety in ports of call, nothing different, but unique activities, and that, as I said before, this was, of course, Zodiac, snorkeling, diving, where those places, or a beach party, something impromptu, also al fresco dining. We'd like to surprise our guests on board as well. Safe, protected anchoring, inviting beaches, accessible only by small ships. So for us, that's something too that gives us a beauty. It's almost a natural differentiator. Easy access, show in town. When we go, we park. We don't park 5 miles out. We don't need a shuttle bus. We're just right in the center of the place we want to be. That's critical for us too. That gives us a competitive advantage and a differentiation. Our guests, they want that. And flexible itineraries for wildlife viewing, that's something we, particularly in Alaska, when we do the itineraries, we never know. Sometimes we're waiting for the whale. It comes up and down, and everybody's waiting when he comes back. So we do give our captains the flexibility now. Of course, fuel costs are high, but that's part of our experience. And when we do not have bingo announcements on board either, but we do have the orca alarm from the bridge. So that's a different state as well. The experience is going to be seamless for us. Historic tours, I talked about a little bit shore excursion, but an included activity in every port, and we are mostly inclusive, and one tour is included. Historic, of course, tours, sampling exotic foods, cultural dances, museums, art, remote walks and hikes, snorkeling, kayaking, and at the end of the day, also freedom to explore further. And we have exploration leaders on our ships, and in addition, we offer very specialized lecturers who really are experts in the cultural experiences for each destination. So you might look, so for us, there's some natural places because we are a nature-based company as an expedition cruise line. So Antarctica is a must foremost for us. So we are basically going to Antarctica for the first time next year, and we're very excited about that. Now Galapagos is something that must be for us as well. Natural wildlife, the last sanctuary habitats. European Danube River Cruise became also interesting. It's a small ship cruise experience, has a lot of familiarity for us, and also the lower Danube and the Danube Delta, has a lot of interesting wildlife and bird life to offer. So that's why it became natural for us as well. We're going next year also to Cocos Island, but also diving, a very interesting shark destination, and really extremely nice soft adventure cruise.